Hey guys, this is Scott Leroy Marketing, coming in for the weekly tip. And today's tip is hopefully one that you guys will utilize right away if you already haven't utilized it. All right, so we're redoing a previous tip actually on how to set up the KW IDX site. All right, this one is just going to talk about the IDX site, not how to prep for it or anything of that sort, just to ensure that you have it up and running right away. Now the cool part is KW has made this as simple as possible to get a site up and running immediately. So all you really have to do to start is click on your sites option on the left-hand side over here. And of course, once again, if you click on this KW logo over on the left-hand side, it'll push everything out so you can see the word as well. All right, if you're like me, I always like to, visually see it, but I also like to see the word too. All right, so once we click on that, we're going to immediately come over. We're going to have our landing pages, agent side pages, and neighborhood pages. Now, if you have not done so quite yet, you need to fill out the Kelly Guide first. All right, if you haven't done this, please do that because that's how it's actually going to brand everything. So that's what we're going to do first. We're going to click on Learn More with Kelly Guide at the bottom left down here. All right, now once we click on that, you might see this on here. Before you begin, what provider would you like to use for your sites? All right, so 99% of the time, you're probably going to click this first one. I want to use the new KDB agent site. All right, if you have stayed with Playster and you're utilizing the Agent Core option, you can click on this. All right, or if you want to explore other options in the KDB Marketplace, you can click on that too. 99% of the time, if not maybe even 100% of the time, you're probably going to click on this. And even if you happen to have a Playster site, a lot of people are still setting this up too. All right, so we're going to click on that and select Submit on here. All right, and now it's going to take us through the Kelly Guide like we've done previously. All right, so in this case, there's only a few items we need to set up in order to get this up and running immediately. All right, so I'm going to click on Get Started over here. All right, and then immediately it's going to pop up now with a compliance option where we need to put inside our Market Center logo, ownership statement if needed, compliance with local board. All right, just to make sure that you are in compliance. Right, at the end of the day, there's a lot of things that your board might require for your site. All right, so if you don't know what is and what isn't required for it, definitely reach out to the broker or any leadership in your office, as they should know immediately this is what's needed in order to be compliant. All right, the last thing you ever want to do is receive any type of nice little email notification or any type of, I'm sure it would come through email. I don't know if it'll actually come through the mail or anything. All right, and then of course on here, click here to find your approved Market Center Brokerage DBA logo. If you notice down here at the bottom left, all right, so once I hover over it, you'll see it right here. All right, it's going to take you over to KDB Connect in that marketing section where you can download that logo immediately. Now, if you need help changing that logo to 300 by 300 so it fits properly, feel free to let us know. We've actually gone through and converted just about every logo for any offices we're working with right now to help you guys out, so we can always send that over to you. All right, so if I click on Acknowledge and Continue on here, all right, it's just going to take us through the same steps we saw before. It's going to give us a preview of our homepage on here, so you can put inside your subdomain, all right, and whatever subdomain you choose, just click on Claim Domain, and it should say, congrats, you've claimed your subdomain. All right, so I'm going to swap that back out real quick. Now, this subdomain can be changed at any time. All right, and then, of course, if you're utilizing a custom domain, you can forward that to this subdomain as well. All right, so that's step one on here. Pretty simple, and this can be updated once again at any time. All right, and then step two is your marketing profile information. Now, if you've updated this over inside the settings section, all right, the KDB Connect settings section of KDB Command, most of this information is going to auto-populate for you, which is going to save you a lot of time. All right, if not, then anything that has a red asterisk on here, you will want to add in. And of course, once again, much like with the subdomain, you can change this anytime you want to as well. All right, so I've got in my first name, my last name, brokerage name on here. I've got the address. That's not the correct address on there, so I'm going to find that real quick. All right, so let me pull this bad boy up. Little rock, awesome. All right, let me change that out real quick too. And this is why we go through and we do this, right? So that way we can get everything correct on here. All right, 72223. Perfect. You can put inside your team or business name if you want to. This used to be a requirement. It's not anymore. All right, you can also put inside your professional job title, realtor, real estate salesperson, real estate agent. All right, your email. You can put inside your office phone number. All right, you can put inside, geez, your mobile phone number on here too. Your bio, your license number. All right, your compliance or legal footer. So once again, reach out to the broker or obviously any leadership staff to see what is needed on here. All right, you can put inside the Market Center brokerage license number, Market Center phone number. All right, and then if you need to put inside any compliance links on here. All right, so for our friends in Texas, for instance, like the TREC compliance, if it's for the IABS form or the, oh geez, now I'm drawing a blank on the other one. What is it? I'll think of it in a second on here. I know the IABS form is the biggest one on there, but there's another one and it's going to kill me for a while. All right, but you can also add that in, and we can click on add more links too if we want to update this. All right, for imagery on here, we can put inside our profile picture, 360 by 360. We can put inside our Market Center brokerage logo, once again, 360 by 360. We can put inside our team logo on here, once again, 360 by 360, so it's going to be a square on here. Now, one thing to note, if we go down to the very bottom, all right, so now we're in our social media, you can add inside all your social media URLs. Ensure you put inside the full URL on here, including that HTTPS. All right, that S is crucial on here, especially for the app. All right, in some cases, you might copy the app URL. If you go to the back end of your e-agency site in that 4.5 section, it'll actually have HTTP. All right, but you want to make sure you have the S on here. All right, now if you try to save this, it should come up and say something like this. Congratulations, you've successfully saved. If it comes up in a red message though, all right, so if it comes up in red letters or anything of that sort, please try a couple things. First and foremost, ensure you don't have any dots or anything on your office number or mobile phone number. I've seen that happen a couple times. The other big one is you may want to re-add in your profile picture. All right, and if your profile picture is already on here, you're like, why do I need to re-add it in? I might not have it or anything of that sort. All right, literally just right-click on it, save image. All right, and then you can upload that again and add it back in, and that'll override that. All right, this is usually the biggest culprit that I've seen over here blocking that. All right, so you want to ensure that it says save and continue. Congratulations, you're good to go. All right, then the next thing we're going to have on here is our homepage text. Do we want to use the red theme or do we want to use the dark theme? All right, most people will probably go with red. That's the one I've been going with. Obviously, you can change it out, completely up to you. You can change your homepage text too, basically the little option that'll display on here for your slideshow section. All right, then you can even add inside what they're calling hero images. All right, so the recommended size is about 1200 by 1200. It's going to be widescreen though, obviously. All right, and then these are what all the different images are going to look like on here. But you can click that trash can icon if you want to add inside your own. So that way you can have different images on here. Personally, I'm just going to leave this as is for the time being. These look great. All right, but then of course you can always go through and add them in later too. All right, so if I click on save and continue, all right, now we're off of our home page. Now we're actually on our content. All right, so first thing first, we're going to see our navigation on here. We can actually move this around. All right, so put your mouse on, any of these items. I'm going to put it on the left-hand side on here, hold down my left mouse button, and I can drag this around if I want to. So maybe I want to go about me, company profile, contact us. Now the cool part about this is, say for instance, you don't want company profile on here. That's okay. All right, you can always go through and delete this later on too, and we'll show you how to do that as well. All right, outside of that, you can actually add inside your search engine optimization. Now the page title on here, if you notice, all right, this is the name for the page as it appears in navigation. All right, so you can title this whatever you want. All right, so in most cases, you typically title it, whatever your page actually is titled on here. We just have value proposition as ours. All right, and then of course you have the slug URL. So what comes after your basically subdomain on here for the .kdb.com URL, this is what's going to happen after it. Now you'll usually want to have a dash or a hyphen between each word and to make it the best for SEO on here. All right, so in this case, I just put value dash proposition. All right, so here's my new URL I can give to people that'll take them directly to this page. All right, and then we have our SEO description on here too. This is what's actually going to display, all right, over inside the search engines like Google. All right, so what I always tell people is go to google.com, all right, and whatever you want to rank for. So if I want to rank for Orlando real estate, search for it. All right, once you search for it, let's go past where it says ads and get an idea as to what some of the other top ranked web pages have. All right, so here's their meta title. Here's that URL. All right, so the slug URL, and then here's their meta description. Typically, the meta description will be about 150 to 160 characters. I believe on the KW one, it's going to be about 155 is what they want you to shoot for. All right, but this way you can get an idea as to what you probably want to put on there. Now, most of the time, you usually want to include, inside the SEO description on here, in this particular case, what you're trying to rank for. So if I'm trying to rank for value proposition, maybe I'd want to include it inside the SEO description as well. All right, but a great way to actually add inside your description on here is really just to search under, what keyword you're trying to rank for. All right, then for the content on here, you can put inside the page header. All right, then we can actually add inside our header image if we want to replace this. As you can see, the recommended size is about 2,000 by 500. Now, once again, this will actually change, based on each computer size that you're using. I'm currently using like a 27-inch monitor. It looks great. If I use a smaller laptop, it might push it in a little bit to zoom in, obviously. So just keep that in mind. It might look a little bit different for you. Then you can put inside your intro paragraph. This is going to be about 250 characters, what you can actually add in introducing this page. All right, you can put inside your headline on here too. All right, so we just put our experience, and then of course we said on here, you have 500 characters to actually talk about this. On the right-hand side, you can actually see here's the image that's going to pop up. Once again, about 360 by 360. All right, we're going to have our section 2 header on here. We just put our tools, and then of course over here we happen to say once again 500 characters. So you can add inside anything you want. All right, same thing on the left-hand side, 360 by 360 for the image. All right, then for the footer down here, I like to really think of this as basically your call to action. All right, so this is where we can actually put inside, need help. Maybe I'll put inside, feel free to call or email at any time. All right, you can put inside whatever you'd like to. Because then right below that, we're going to have all of our contact info that's at the bottom. All right, so once again, even though this is considered to be a company profile, you can make this page whatever you'd like. All right, so it's really up to you at the end of the day. All right, and of course, once again, I'm going to click on continue, but you can customize this at any time. Nothing is set in stone. All right, then of course over here we also happen to have our page title for our about page. All right, so once again, if you want to change that navigation, you can. Search engine optimization, we talked about this previously. Here's the page title, here's the slug URL, here's the SEO description. So remember, page title, this is going to be the title of that particular page. Slug URL is going to come after your domain name on here. If you're utilizing multiple words, so if I wanted to utilize about Scott Leroy, I want to put inside a hyphen, not a hyphen, a hyphen or a dash between each word. All right, and then of course on here, our description. Now remember, 155 characters or less, and this is what's actually going to pop up over on all those search engines like Google. All right, so feel free to search around and see what other people are utilizing. Now for the content on the about page, for instance, here's our title, here's our page title, our actual title, our bio title. This is where we can put inside our bio. This is where we can put inside our contact title, our contact phone, email. Some of this should automatically populate. And then, of course, if we click on Next, then we can see our Contact Us page too. All right, so that way we can actually put inside all this information on here to help out. So here's our SEO again, and our content as well. Now, once again, this can actually be changed at any time. I just want to give you a heads up on that. So nothing we're adding in is being set in stone. All right, so once I go through, I just set that up pretty quickly. I can now go back over, I can get some frequently asked questions on here under KDB Connect. I can actually go to our site settings, or I can even create more sites, including pages. All right, so you only get one IDX site, but you can make multiple landing pages and multiple pages on the site, though. All right, so I'm going to X out of this bad boy real quick. All right, it's going to take me right back over to our KDB Command platform. Awesome, and now we're back over on our KDB Command platform. We've got this all set up. So now if I click on Agent Site Pages up here, for instance, all right, now we happen to have our different pages that are available. So we have the About Me, Contact Us, About Us. So this is my About Me page. This is my contact page, and this is my company page. Now, once again, if you want to edit these, click the three dots on the right-hand side, select Edit, or like I was saying before, if you want to delete any of those pages, you can click Delete now. All right, in addition to that, you can also click on Agent Site Settings up here at the top right. This is going to show us three different items currently. We're going to see our subdomain. And if you change the subdomain, it does take approximately 15 minutes or so to actually update, so it's not going to be an instantaneous change. All right, you can update your theme on here, currently between red and black. Sorry, not black, dark, my apologies. And then, of course, we can actually see our pages on here, too. So if we want to update any of our SEO description, all right, our page title, our slug URL, or we just want to select this page, we can actually go through and tweak it even further. And then, of course, we can always drag this around as well to kind of change that navigation, too. All right, so all this is completely customizable. Now, one big thing, though, one really big thing that you'll want to make sure you have enabled, use my information to brand my site. Make sure this is checked. If it is unchecked on here, it doesn't have the green button on it, make sure it's checked. All right, because then as you can see here, the compliance reminders, I'm going to acknowledge and continue. We're good to go. All right, so I just want to give you a heads up on that. You will need that set up. And this needs to be green in order for your information to display properly. Because now if I go to my actual site, right, it should pop up with my information. Here's the logo. Here's my other logo. Start your home search. And then, of course, at the top right up here, here's our navigation bar. Here's home, about Scott, value proposition, contact us, and how they can actually access our different social media sites. All right, so this will help out tremendously. Now this is just the beginning though, so I just want to give you a heads up. This is version 1. KW is constantly changing stuff all the time. All right, so this could be completely different very soon. All right, so I just want to give you a heads up. This is version 1. All right, so you can also add inside custom pages, and we're going to talk about that in our next tip as well. All right, but that'll help you to get your site up and running immediately. So there you go. So that is your KW command tip for the day.